Well, hello, everybody. That music you're hearing can only mean one thing. It is time for A Comedian Crashes Your Pad, the talk show. And I'll just get this out of the way. If you like what you see, then make sure you hit that subscribe button on the lower right corner. So let me tell you about this show. For those of you who are fans of A Comedian Crashes Your Pad, the TV series, which you can now get on Roku, just search the Fantastic Entertainment channel. You can also download the Fantastic Entertainment app in the Google Play and Apple stores and watch episodes there. This is a little side project. Obviously, with COVID, I can't travel as much as I would like to, but that doesn't mean that I can't bring interesting people from all over the world who have either really cool properties or just have really amazing travel stories. I can bring them on the show, I can talk to them virtually, and I can share their experiences with you. And that is exactly what I am going to do. And that's why I am not creating a podcast. This is not a podcast. You listen to podcasts, you watch talk shows. You can listen to this if you want, don't get me wrong. But if you listen to it, you're not going to see these people that I have scoured the globe to find. You're not going to experience the type of travel that they're talking about, the places they've been, and the places that you might want to go as well. So without any further ado, let's get right to my first guest. This is a man who has really taken an interesting approach to his love of travel, just like I have. He's kind of taken a different spin on it, but he's so many things besides just a guy who loves to travel. He is a high school philosophy teacher. I think he'd rather be more known, though, as somebody who is also a singer-songwriter. He has just released his third album called Go It Alone, which you can find in the iTunes store. We'll talk about that a little bit later. All the way from Guelph, Ontario, which is just outside Toronto. Please say hello to Leonard Shea. Leonard, how are you?
Good. It's freezing up here in Canada. Just got in from shoveling snow and shoveling the driveway. So
okay, you do have heat in your house, do you not? Because I'm wondering with the with the attire that you're wearing, if it's cold in your house.
We have a wood burning stove. We just chopped some wood. It's in there. We can hear it crackling in the background. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Very good. I don't think I have ever heard of Guelph. I've heard of Toronto, but where is Guelph?
So it's probably less than an hour outside of Toronto. It's probably well known for its veterinary college. There's probably two of them in North America that are really well known. Guelph has one of them. The other thing is it's a big hockey town. Many guys that have played in the NHL have come from Guelph, Ontario.
All of Canada is a big hockey town, Leonard. I mean, and I know you played in your youth because I think that's the law in Canada, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. You know, before we get into anything, I have got to ask you about your Twitter profile picture because I follow you on Twitter and I hate to say it, Leonard, it kind of looks like you got the crap beat out of you. I mean, unless that's makeup. I mean, I'm seeing a black eye, a bloody nose. You want to explain that?
I guess, like you said, every Canadian or a lot of Canadian boys grow up in a rink. It doesn't matter what you are. If you're Canadian, you're born and raised in a rink, and that smell of the Zamboni and getting out on the ice and taping your stick and it's part of who I am, and it's probably made me a lot better person. You know, as a youngster, I started playing hockey, and it taught me discipline, perseverance, teamwork, and a whole bunch of other things that have carried over into life, and I love the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you played as a kid, I know, on your website, and then you also were I believe, a trumpet player, right, or a horn player, and there was a hockey injury that kind of kept you from escalating your trumpet career.
Yeah, so there were a few, not all these teeth are mine. Parts of them are, parts of them aren't. But kind of the funny story is when I almost stopped or ended my trumpet career, I was playing in my draft year, and one of my friends, Mike Hudson, actually played for Chicago Blackhawks for about 10 years. So, you know, I feel an affiliation with Chicago, and eventually he went on to New York Rangers and won the Cup with Messier. And so, you know, he always talked really highly about Chicago and, you know, the Madhouse on Madison and
it
was that part. And so I really respect Chicago and the fans there and the hockey fans. So I feel an affiliation with Chicago.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, we were a huge hockey town not long ago, but we're also huge bandwagon fans too. So hockey is kind of taking a back seat to actually nothing right now. We're kind of in a lull in Chicago, but that's not what I want to talk about. All right, so I want to talk about your music a little bit later, but you, as most musicians are, most entertainers are, we usually always have something else going on to support ourselves while we do what we truly love. You teach high school philosophy. Now, when I went to high school, there was no philosophy class. And I think I could probably ask my daughters if they offer philosophy in their high school. And I think the answer would be no. So I'm curious, what kind of kid takes Mr. Shea's philosophy class up there in Canada?
Well, it's an interesting story because in Europe they have philosophy, not in North America. And it just so happened that when I got out of university, I was moving furniture. I was doing anything under the sun just to make some money. And then they brought in this new curriculum in the high schools of philosophy, and perfect timing. I just kind of walked in there, and there aren't too many philosophers walking around. And I just lucked out. I got a job. So who takes it? This is a Catholic school. So you have the option to either take a Catholic religion class or a philosophy class. And we touch on religion and the philosophy of religion in the philosophy course. So it's probably for those people that might be going on to university. You're going to take some art courses, whether it be history, sociology, psychology, philosophy, poli-sci, something like that. And I think it's just a stepping stone for them to understand what the humanities and what the arts might, offer them in university.
Okay. Do they surprise you every now and then with questions?
Oh yeah. And it's kind of, when you think about that, I remember being new to the profession of teaching, and one of the vice principal, I got to kind of know him well. And he says, you know what, you think you're here teaching, you're going to learn every day. And it's so true. You go in and the things people say, and you see where they come from and how they develop, it is a learning experience. I'm learning every day.
Yeah, that's great. All right. But let's talk about what your real passion is. And that is, that is you are a singer-songwriter. And I love the description on your website. This was a woman who I guess is very well known in Canada, who said, "You are a goofy guy that plays great music." That's a quote from your website. Who said that, and do you think it's true?
Well, it's kind of funny. Who said that was Carla Cullen. She's kind of a comedian slash host. She's in LA now, but she was up in Toronto, and I was doing the TV circuit. You get on all those early morning TVs. I was pushing an album. Yeah. And she's known me since I was probably 16 years old. And she's seen me, to get on stage. And I've done a bunch of shows. I've done her shows. And Carla Cullen, she's an old friend that's in LA. And as you said, most artists are trying to do something else. You really got to be hustling to make a living in North America. And there she is. Like, I learned, there's a bunch of us artists hanging around, hustling, just trying to do what we love, and it's an obsession. It's in me. I got to get it out of me. And that's what you do. You keep puking this music out, keep putting this art out all the time. And it makes you whole. It makes you feel purposeful.
Right. And that's what attracted me to you, and why I wanted to have you on the show, because I think you and I share our love of travel, but we also have combined our love of travel with our occupation or our dream. In my case, it's comedy. In your case, it's music. And what I love of what you've done is, if you go to your YouTube channel, and you have two of them, you post travel videos with your music as the soundtrack underneath them. Am I describing that correctly?
Yeah, well said. So that's what kind of makes me unique. Yeah, the travel, and I'm popping my tunes behind it to kind of, as I was just thinking about it before I came on, it is about mood. Music has always been about conveying mood, whether it be a mellow vibe or a really up vibe. And I think that music really adds that extra kind of a nuance to cinema. If you can, and now I aspire to get better at fusing these two art forms, one of cinema and one of music. And the music I've been doing since I was 7, but this new kind of travel genre is still new to me, but I am searching, and I'm passionate about it now, to see my music bring alive, whether I'm swimming with some whale sharks in Mexico, and then to put a song over top of it, it's art. It just kind of adds an extra layer of mood to the whole thing for me.
Mm-hmm. And you've been traveling for a while. I mean, some of the travel videos, obviously with COVID, no one's traveling right now, but you go to your YouTube channel and you see places that you've been from all over the world. And so when you had this idea, did you just kind of search through your archives and basically like a dad looking at old home movies saying, hey, let's look at this, and my music would look and sound great under that?
Yeah, so I started probably 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been a slow build, but a rewarding build. And there was an ex-student that came and, interviewed me for something because they were at a broadcasting school, and they said, I'm doing this video. And I said, well, I want to get into this YouTube thing. And when it comes to technology, they were really up on the technology, and they said, well, let's put this together. And they were doing an internship, and they had 80 hours. I said, let's try and put this together. So I gave them some footage, some pictures from around the world. I had a tune. We put it together, and I said, wow, this is something new for me, and this is a new toy, and I'm loving it. So that's what kind of got me into it.
Yeah. So what was the first melding that you did? What was where were you first? The first travel piece of travel footage, and that where you said, okay, I'm going to put some music under it. Where were you?
Well, the original one was called Ride the Tiger, and it was 4 minutes of 10 years of travel.
Okay, so travel montage.
Yeah, we just took a montage of everything all over the place. So then when we put that together, I thought, wow, okay, what am I going to do with that? I basically sat on that for maybe 6 months, and I thought, I really don't know what I'm going to do here, but I know I've got a passion. I want to get into this. So after that, then anytime that I left the country or left the house and I was going somewhere, I had a phone. Like all of us, we just start with the phone.
Sure.
And then that led to maybe getting involved with some other companies, and then going to their hotel, and then with another tour agency, which led me to Europe, and it just started to grow. So it just kind of is starting to grow, and now COVID hit.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's going to be the end of every single story in 2021. I don't care what you've done. It always ends with, and then COVID hit, right? Yeah. What'd you do in 2020? Well, I passed the bar, and I was all set to get a job at a prestigious law firm, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm podcasting. Right. So anyway, okay, so now, again, just pre-COVID, maybe the last place you went, do you often pick your spots based on the music that you want to put underneath there? Like, do you ever think to yourself, okay, I've got this really great tune and it would sound really cool under somewhere in Switzerland?
Okay, so I got, after I started to see there was a little bit of money in it, and there was a little bit of, I started to get a little more calculating,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going to Italy, and there was a place called Walkabout Tours, or Walkabout Florence. And they were a tour company out of Florence. And I just said, hey, I'm a travel vlogger, whatever, YouTuber. Hey, you mind if I come and drive some of your Fiat 500s out in Tuscany, or get on some Vespas, whatever, and you pay me some money and I'll make some videos for you? And they said, yeah.
They did.
Welcome to Florence, Italy. Florence, Italy has often been considered one of the top 10 most beautiful cities in the world. And if you truly want to discover Florence, look no further than Walkabout Florence.
Yeah, so as soon as, I've got 4 albums. I just put my 4th album out. So I've got, 50 songs or 50 plus songs out there. And so what I did is I said, okay, I'm going to go shoot, 2 videos a day, and I'm going to come back to Canada and edit them and then pop them out with some of my tunes. So yeah, when I got in that Fiat 500, that tiny little car, and I started riding those gears, driving through Tuscany, I said, boom, take me away. That's on my last album. That's going with this song, So sometimes I had to go there and live it. When I'm eating some wild boar, at a little restaurant in Florence, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this background tune will be good with that. Or
you have a wild boar tune in your repertoire.
Well, I've got a tune that can go with anything. I'll tell you that.
Okay, good.
That's part of being an artist. You got.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I always feel like I have a joke.
here.
I always feel like I have a joke for anything. Do you travel by yourself, or do you have a traveling companion?
I've done both, but now I'm traveling with a partner, and I'm finding it's rewarding when you both want to be doing the same things, when you both want to be seeing, when you're trying that food, that lasagna, and you're looking across the table, and they're saying, "Oh, can you taste that?" And sometimes it's good to bounce that off somebody, or when you are with the whale sharks outside of Mexico, and you look down and you see her kick the whale shark in the head with her flipper and it's gone, and you can yell at her, go, "Why did you kick the whale shark in the head? It was just got here," So, and sometimes, you get on Vespas in Italy, and somebody crashes and you got to clean her up or clean each other up. So
yeah, did that happen?
It's better to do it with others, and sometimes it's safer. You got somebody there to pick you up.
That's true. All right. Now, did a Vespa crash inspire you to write a song?
I'm trying to erase that from my memory.
Yeah. Certain things don't make it into my show either. All right. We all talk about what we want to be doing and what we're going to be doing post-COVID. Everybody talks about that. And my question for you is, what will you be doing?
Well, I think I'm going to teach one more year, and I'm waiting for the world to open back up. And I figure maybe not this June, but next June, then that's the master plan, to get out. There's a number of contacts. There's a number of places in the world that are kind of loosely set up. We're all waiting for things to open up, and I'm going. And I'm going to shoot as much as I can. I'm just going to keep working on my chops as a songwriter and as a film and editor. And I've got basically 17 months to I'm not going to say perfect it, but get better at it.
Yeah, absolutely. First place you want to go?
Well, it looks like, as a Canadian, and I'm looking straight out the window here at the freezing snow, we're going to have to be some snowbirds. We're going to have to look for a place a little bit warmer in the winter, and we're going to have to get south somewhere. So it could be Florida, it could be California, it could be Portugal. We're going somewhere warm for the summer. That'll be nice.
Nice. Yeah. Now, for those people who want to find you on YouTube or so forth, one of the things that you do, I noticed, is that you do live streams. Like you just did one where all it was walking on a beach in Aruba, right? And this went on for about an hour and a half. And your music was under there the whole time, different songs and different moods and so forth. And it was strangely relaxing, which is probably what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But was that a full 90-minute walk that you did just filming, or?
So that was one of my first collaborations. And a guy called Let's Go with Hyro, he lives in Aruba, and all of us YouTubers are stuck in our country, stuck in our town. And I think now I've started reaching out, and I say, "Hey, where are you?" And I just connected with a guy in New York, and he just walked around Little Italy for me, whatever. And I'm going to be putting some of my funk tunes with that.
Nice.
Hyro was down in Aruba. He goes, "I can't leave." And I go, "Walk down the beach, man, and send me some video. I'll put some tunes to it." So it seems like I'm really tapped into this community now of YouTubers that's what COVID's kind of changed. Everyone's kind of stuck in their own little headspace, in their own little place. And, there was a guy that was in Iceland, and he said, "Hey, can I borrow this tune for I'm going up this waterfall, and it's kind of an epic song. Can I use this for about a minute and a half?" I go, "Yeah, take it." Yeah. So I think we're just sharing now to try and get this obsession. And it's kind of weird to see somebody else's video with one of my tunes behind it, and they edited it. And I thought, wow, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And what kind of feedback are you getting from people who are just watching a video of a beach that they're not on?
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised to see how many people are out there just sitting in their basement or sitting there. Cable seems like it's on the way out with a lot of people.
Yeah.
This internet thing is taking over the world, and they've got this thing called YouTube, and they can just press a button and they can put them in Aruba.
Right.
All of a sudden with some mellow jazz tunes behind it, and you can hear the waves, and you can hear some people kind of laughing in the background and whatever, splashing around in the waves, and they want to sit there and they want to relax.
Yeah, well, again, it's almost like those of us who are in the travel industry, other people live vicariously through us, I think. Yeah. And that's a good thing. And it makes it bodes well, I think, for when we do get out of this. It just shows how people want to get out and they want to experience other places and other cultures and so forth. And I feel like what you and I are doing in different ways is allowing people to experience those cultures and those places. And that can only be a good thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Time to plug anything you want to plug. Of course, I'll put links and so forth. But and I'm sorry, at the beginning, I said you had 3 albums out. You actually have 4. Go It Alone is your 4th?
That's my 3rd. So I just put out Pronoia. Pronoia is the newest album, and I hooked up with DistroKid, and now it's on all music platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and it's been good just to kind of get, like I said, Spotify, iTunes, and all the big platforms now have all the albums, have all 4.
Great. Albums. All right. Excellent. Okay. Well, we'll put all your contact information up there at the very end. And of course, any music that you heard during this interview is from Leonard Shea, and that's pretty cool. So Leonard, thank you so much. It's great to hear from you, and I love what you're doing. And hey, best of luck to you. As soon as we get out of this, I hope I see you down the road somewhere.
I will see you one day, hopefully either in Chicago or Guelph.
Or Guelph. That's right. A comedian crashes Guelph. That has a really nice ring to it. All right. Leonard, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Leonard, thank you so much. That was a great way to kick off A Comedian Crashes Your Pad, the talk show. And again, please subscribe if you liked what you saw and heard. And if you have a really cool property that you'd like featured on this talk show, or you just have a very interesting travel experience like Leonard, then I would love to hear from you. So please, you can email me at greg@acomediancrashesyourpad.com. And you can also hit me up on my website, acomediancrashesyourpad.com. Please watch full episodes of the TV show on Roku and download the Fantastic Entertainment app in the Google Play and Apple stores. Keep laughing. Happy traveling.
Round Gibraltar and we head for home. The Alice Peaks look good in June, sail on. The sea is calm and the skies are blue. Make the wind, my friend.